Hi, this is Derek Murphy from creativeindie.com. I just put up a little post on this site, which is marketingforwriters.com, about the absolute best use of your money to market your book. I get this question a lot. People ask me, if you had one thing, if you only have $100 or $1,000, what's the one thing that you want to focus on? There's a lot of ways to market your book, but the best answer, I think, here is building your email list. And before you say, "Oh, I already know that everybody already talks about building your email list," the thing that's different about my approach is that most people will say you need to build your email list, but they'll put it on the back end. So they'll put in the back of your book, go back to my website, sign up for my email list, so that you have to spend your marketing money selling the book so that people will buy it, and then they can sign up to your list afterwards if they want to become fans. And the reason that's problematic is, let's say you have $500 and you use it to reach 10,000 people. So you're putting your advertisement or your book in front of 10,000 people somewhere online. Maybe it's a high traffic blog. I'm writing young adult or paranormal romance, so I would find young adult or paranormal romance blogs. And if you're looking for that stuff on Marketing for Writers, we've been making genre-specific lists. So I could click here on paranormal romance and find 100 places to market your paranormal romance book. So I have all these sites. So these are the sites I would look for if I want to put an advertisement or put a guest post or email them to ask for a book review. So they're kind of like my network. So I'd have a huge list of possible reviewers or places I can advertise, and I'd also be looking at any Facebook groups like Facebook Paranormal Romance. And if I was doing targeted Facebook advertisements, I'd do the same thing. I'd basically target people who like paranormal romance or specific books in that genre, and I'd put my advertisement in front of them. So if I've got $500 and I want to reach 10,000 people, let me find where I was here. The problem with just advertising your book is that even if it's a good advertisement, even if you're pitching just for the right people, and even if you have a great book cover design, which is really important, you're not going to get everybody, because it's still promotion, it's still marketing. If it's free, you'll get a better return, but even if you're selling it for like 99 cents on sale today only, you won't get 100%. You might get 10 or 20% of people to click on your ad, and less than that are actually going to go ahead and buy the book. So all that money you're spending, that $500, those 10,000 people you're reaching, you're only actually selling maybe a few hundred books, which is enough to drive you to number one in your rank. It's a good start, but it's not enough to stick there. And if you're planning to be a career author, you have lots of other books coming out. The problem with that approach is that maybe some of them, maybe 10% will sign up to your email list. So out of that 200 people, maybe 20 or 40 people will sign up to your email list, and you only have an email list of 20 or 40 people that you can contact again in the future. I think it's better to use your marketing money to build your list proactively before your book launch, before your book is even done. So instead of advertising when your book is done to try to get people to buy your book and then maybe sign up on your list later, what I'm going to do in my book launches is focus on building my email list first. And how would you do that? Basically, I put up a little example here on this article, but instead of contacting all these blogs, all these reviewers, and saying, "Hey, would you promote my book? Would you review my book?" Which, isn't very unique. A lot of people are already doing that. "Hey, my book is free today. Can you share and review it?" is a shitty offer. That's not something remarkable. It's better if I can set up a giveaway. I can use Rafflecopter or another giveaway site where I will, for example, I'm going to be building two lists. I'm going to be building a list for other authors, young adult, indie, paranormal authors who are writing books similar to mine. Because if I have a huge list of authors, that's really powerful for me in terms of book marketing, because their platforms are the same platforms I want to go after. So all the work they've done to build their own fan base, their own list, their own followers on Twitter, those are the people I want to reach. So if I can make a community of indie authors who write in my genre, to support my book, that's really valuable. What I can do, because I'm a book designer, is give away a really expensive book design package and help them out with their book covers or their website or some of their marketing stuff. And that's something I can offer that will be valuable. But for people who sign up, even if they don't win the big prize, I'll basically be building a platform where other authors can market their book. So not just my website to promote myself, but a bigger platform for young adult or paranormal romance books that'll bring a lot of traffic, because it's a lot easier to bring a lot of traffic with a community website because you have a lot of content. So if I partner with a couple hundred authors and we put together a site with 1,000 articles, each of us only has to write a few articles, but the collective traffic to that site will be much higher than any of our single one author blogs. And so that's kind of the advantage. And as the person who sets all of that up and gets us organized, I'm in control of that network, but it's a good opportunity for them to promote their books in a meaningful way. And also it just sets up kind of this community of authors who can support and help each other. So that's one thing I'll want to do, is build that kind of list. The other list I'm going to build is just perfect readers. So I'm going to find readers who liked the types of books that I'm writing, and I'll have to create an award, a prize that's just for them. I don't want to give away something like a free Kindle because everybody wants one of those. But if I give away a free Kindle plus the top 20 best-selling books in my genre that I can just find on Amazon, that's kind of a very specific award that only the right type of readers are going to want. And the nice thing about Rafflecopter or giveaways is that they reward users who share. So if they share my contest, they get more entries to win the prize. So if I give away a $500 Kindle prize for young adult readers, that's something. And especially young adult readers, they're teenage high school students, so they don't have a lot of money. If they get a big free prize, a lot of free books, I'll also add some cool stuff, probably like a antique classic typewriter or a special stuff that only like book lovers are really going to appreciate. So if I put all that stuff together in a big package, people will share that contest in a way that they would never share my book launch. So I can approach all of those blogs, all of those reviewers, and I can, instead of asking them to review or share my book launch, I can ask them to share this big contest with their readers, which a lot of them probably will because it's free content. It's a free prize that people can get excited about. It's not just, recommending one book. It's hard for reviewers or blogs to recommend one book unless they take the time to read it, and they don't have time to read all these books because there's too many things going on. I'd have to probably apply. I might have to wait months to get my book reviewed. But if it's something simple like, it's a big contest, all they have to do is sign up with their email, they can probably feel comfortable sharing it because one of their readers is going to win a big prize. They don't have to really read like my books because I'm not promoting my books. So it's an easier thing for people to share. When I put it on Facebook and Twitter, when I do my launch, instead of promoting my book, I'll be promoting these contests. And so the money I spend will be spent on these contests to build the list so that when I actually launch my book for real, I'll have a couple of really big email lists. I'm hoping to get at least 1,000 people on each list. I'd like more, but we'll see how it goes. I'll have 1,000 people on my email list that I can contact about my future book launches. And that's a really valuable thing, is that if I spent $500 on this book launch for advertising, I'd probably have to spend the same amount of money for every book I launch in the future. But if I spend the same money to build my list, I'll always have that list that I can use again and again for future book launches without spending any money. That's why it's really powerful. But you have to also be careful once you have a list, once you have people who signed up for the free prize, you have to be very careful about how you approach them, how you introduce yourself. You have to give away a lot of more free content. An easy way to do it is just to start a dialogue like, here are my favorite 10 young adult books on Amazon, and then ask which ones did you like or what do you appreciate in a young adult book. Try to get some dialogue going so that you're not just promoting stuff. But eventually, once you've built up some relationships so they kind of know who you are and you're not trying to be pushy or just selling crap to them all the time, then you might want to, or you might be able to tell them about your book launch, especially if you're doing your book launch in a creative way. It's harder if you're just saying, my book is on sale, go buy it. With your book, with any marketing, you have to make sure your Amazon page is great, you have a bunch of reviews, you have some high-profile reviews, you have a great book cover, and then you have to do something fun or interesting. And then, if they're on your list, if they're followers, it's hard to sell to them the first time. I would always give away the first book to them for free so they get some value and see if they like your books. and then just ask them to, if you didn't like my book or if you don't want to be contacted again, just please unsubscribe. That'll make sure you're not bothering people who don't want to be bothered. But focusing on building up that list first, if you're doing it the right way, that list is free marketing for the future of your author career. So you can keep, I mean, you'll still do a big book launch. You'll still get people to sign up by going to your website after they've read the book, if they like the book, because you'll be offering prizes and bonuses for opting into your email list. But you want to have an email list before you launch your first book, because otherwise all the money that you spend on advertising and marketing, it's not going to be as effective. You're going to have to kind of climb uphill, and when it's done, your book sales are going to sink, and you'll have no way to get them up again except for continuing to advertise. So you just end up spending a lot of money. It's fine to spend a lot of money if you have lots of books, if you have a series, if you have, like, if you can promote a first free book and they'll buy your other books. There's ways that you can just keep spending advertising money indefinitely and profit from it. But when you're launching your first book and you're thinking about building your author platform, you probably don't have a huge budget, and you want to make sure that the money you spend things on are really, they provide long-term value in terms of book sales. So that's definitely what I would do. I'm finishing my first novel now, and I'm going to be posting a lot of really, really long, in-depth, kind of case studies of what I'm doing, what worked and what didn't work, with a lot of statistics. So, I mean, like, I know this strategy will work, but it may not seem real to you until I can prove it. So once I launch in a month or two, I'll show you on Marketing for Writers. I'll be adding more articles about, like, what exactly I did with my giveaways and how many people actually signed up and how much it all cost, because I think that'll probably be more useful information. Thanks. Good luck with your book. Bye-bye.